Thank you for clicking on this video. Welcome friends to PastQuest. I don't think there was a single moment in my childhood when I wasn't reminded, quietly but constantly, that I came second. It wasn't loud, it wasn't violent. No screaming punishments, no dramatic scenes. It was softer than that, almost invisible but so much more damaging. 1,000 tiny choices, stacked one on top of another until they built a wall around me. My younger sister, Lena, was always the one who needed more. More care, more patience, more forgiveness. And me, I was the one expected to supply it. If she broke something of mine, my mom, Marianne, would just sigh and say, "She's younger, Claire. Let it go." If Lena threw herself on the floor, screaming over a toy, no one asked her to stop. Instead, every pair of eyes turned to me. "You know how she is. Be the bigger person." So I was, over and over, until it stopped feeling like a choice and started feeling like law. And slowly, without even realizing it, I began to disappear. I didn't rebel. I didn't shout back. I didn't demand fairness. I adjusted. I taught myself how to quiet my voice before it ever left my throat. How to let go of things that mattered to me before they turned into fights I'd never win. How to force a smile when I was the one losing. And the worst part, for years I believed that made me strong. By the time I was 16, the rules were written in stone. If I wanted anything more than the bare basics, I had to go out and earn it. So I did. Weekends spent at part-time jobs, late night stocking shelves, cleaning offices, babysitting kids who had more than I did. Every dollar I wanted for myself I worked for. And then Lena turned 16. She never worked a single shift. Instead, she was handed a car, credit card, and my mother's warm voice telling her, "Don't worry about money, sweetheart. We'll take care of it." Those words, that kind of softness, that kind of care, never once belonged to me. College was the same story. I fought tooth and nail through student loans, juggling 2, sometimes 3 jobs just to keep afloat. Meanwhile, Lena was enrolled in a private university, living in her own apartment with a fridge that never went empty. When I asked my mom why it was always so uneven, she answered in a calm, almost casual way that nearly broke me. "Lena isn't as strong as you, Claire. She needs more support." That was the reasoning every time. It didn't matter that I was drowning. What mattered was that I was the one who could swim. And so, I survived. That was the problem. Years later, when Michael proposed to me, I thought maybe, finally, life would be different. For the first time I felt chosen, celebrated, like I was the one being seen. But my parents couldn't even give me that. My mom sighed every time wedding expenses came up. My dad muttered about the sacrifices they were making for Lena. And Lena herself. She rolled her eyes at my excitement, joked that I was acting like a princess, sulked whenever the attention drifted away from her. Then came the wedding day. It was beautiful, almost perfect, until my mom pulled me aside. She smiled like she was giving me her blessing, then whispered words that cut deeper than anything else ever had. "We're keeping your gift money. Lena needs it more than you." My stomach dropped so hard I thought I might fall. Even here, even now, on what was supposed to be the happiest day of my life, they still saw me as the one who had to sacrifice. But Michael had seen it coming. He had prepared for this. From his jacket pocket, he pulled out a notarized paper we'd signed weeks before. It spelled it out in black and white. Every gift, every cent given to us belonged to us, and any attempt to take it would be treated as theft. For the first time in my life, I saw my mother falter. My father's face turned crimson with anger. And Lena exploded. "This isn't fair. Claire has everything now. She doesn't need it. I have nothing." And the brutal truth. She meant it. Deep in her bones, she believed it. She had been raised to believe my happiness, my stability, my future weren't mine alone. They were hers to claim too. Because that's how it had always been. But I wasn't that girl anymore. Not the girl who folded. Not the girl who gave in. Not the girl who carried everyone else's weight while pretending it was strength. So when my father spat, "I've never been so ashamed of you," I looked him straight in the eyes, calm as stone. Because in that moment, I finally understood. He couldn't shame me anymore. Michael stood beside me, steady and solid. His voice didn't shake as he said, "If you try to take a single cent, we'll see you in court." The room erupted after that. Shouting, pleading, crying, accusations flying through the air like knives. But I didn't bend. I didn't explain. Because I realized they weren't talking to me anymore. They were talking to the old version of me, the daughter they had trained, the one who always sacrificed. And she was gone. That night, I walked away hand in hand with my husband. No screaming, no begging, just silence. And for the first time in my life, silence felt like freedom.
Thanks for watching PastQuest. If you enjoyed the journey into history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories from the past. See you in the next quest.